Hi, it's a Lipstick Gal. Thank you so much for watching today. I wanted to try on a full face of e.l.f. makeup today. I've heard a lot of good things about e.l.f. and I only have 3 products that I use on the regular, and they were the only 3 products I had from the brand. You know what? Let's just jump in. The one thing that I love about e.l.f., I'm going to tell you as I start to put on, this is their Poreless Putty Primer. The one thing that I really like is I feel that the brand is so affordable. And for a long time, I had tried products from drugstore brands and had not been impressed with the quality. But I'll tell you, out of the 3 products I already had in my regular stash before I made a larger purchase, I was super impressed. And I was like, you know, maybe it's time. A lot of good reviews. And I'm finally past that point in my life, and I'm not gonna lie, there used to be a time when it was all about buying luxury products because they were luxury products. And then I would be disappointed when they didn't perform as well as I'd hoped for the giant price tag. I'm past that. I want a good product. Doesn't matter what the packaging looks like. Doesn't matter how much it costs, but does it work? Now, if you've been there for a long time, I'm glad you're more evolved than I am, but I got sucked in by the pretty packaging or the expensive marketing, and I'm glad I'm past that now, and I don't want to miss out on anything that's truly remarkable. I think I have way too much primer on, but this is nice. It really is. It has kind of a similar feel to the Tatcha Silk Canvas, which I have. I like this. It feels hydrating, but it also feels like it is kind of doing something for my pores. So I'm going to throw on some of their Flawless Satin Foundation. I have the shade 120 Pearl. I don't remember if that's the lightest shade. So that's one full pump. I might give myself like a pump and a half. Ooh, I like that the pump, you can press it down and it doesn't like instantly squirt out too much, just enough. I didn't color match myself. Can't do that in store anymore. So this was kind of like a brave stab in the dark. Here's hoping it works. Looks like it'll blend out okay. Might be a little light. Actually, that's really nice. I like the feel of this foundation. It feels kind of creamy and hydrating, but not sticky. Oh, it's blending in beautifully. Ooh, contender. So this is definitely a medium coverage foundation as I'm blending it in here. I think this is one that you could dot all over your face and it wouldn't end up, you know, setting before you had a chance to blend it out. I always try and go, you know, little by little the first time I try something. Did you notice all of that redness across my nose? I feel like that's gone really well, but I'm still getting a little bit of hyperpigmentation coming in through here. So it's not like really high coverage. I do like the idea of this being kind of like a satin formula, so your skin looks glowy. I think this would be great if you had, I don't know how it would work for dry skin, but I have combination normal skin. My concern will be, does it break up with the oils around my nose, or does it hang through for the whole day? And that might be partly a combination with the primer and the powder we're going to use today. But so far, I'm kind of impressed. One of the products I've had and I really like is their Hydrating Camo Concealer. Is that what it is? Yes, it's their Hydrating Camo Concealer Satin Finish. So maybe this is supposed to go in conjunction with this. By the way, under $10 for a glass bottle with a pump and a lid, and a pump that doesn't give you like way too much or catch air in it. Why can't everybody do this? So I'm just gonna dot on a little bit. I normally use a color corrector from Charlotte Tilbury, but I'm trying really hard to stick just to e.l.f. today. I was really impressed with this. I've tried a couple of other drugstore concealers, and I feel like this is a really good one. I feel like it's a little bit more hydrating than the hydrating one from Makeup Revolution. That one I think is a good one for me every place but under my eyes. And this one works under my eyes. And this is where I remind you I'm 45 years old. And if I put the wrong products under my eyes, I look like I'm 95. I like how easy this product is to blend. And I feel like it works really well with this foundation. So if you need a little extra coverage, tapping this on places where a little extra on my finger here. I have some dark spots from acne in the past, right around here, but I feel like it works really well. All right, we're gonna keep going in that glow direction because their Halo Glow Setting Powder is what I picked up. I have the shade Light. I was so impressed with this. For years, I had a love-hate relationship with loose powders because normally, and maybe this is just more recent designs of doing this, it would be a sifter and a cap and you tip it in there and it would kind of go everywhere. And every time you opened it up, you had like a little cloud of powder, just kind of, you'd inhale it. This is nice because it actually has something here that lets you open and close, maybe only open a portion of the sifter and not the whole thing. It's not like a million holes all across the bottom. So I'm going to tip some into the lid here and we're going to set our face. This powder is described as a soft focus filter for the skin. I kind of feel like I'll be the judge of that. But you know I love, 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 love the Hourglass powders. I'm going to make sure I don't set any creases here in my under eye. I love the Hourglass ambient lighting powders because they make my skin look so beautiful. You know, this is not bad. It's not dry or catching under the eye. Dude, for the price, I'm so impressed right now. I like that you still see some of this shine here. I'm sure that's from the powder. I'm almost to the point where I can't find words. I'm really impressed. This bronzer is their Primer Infused bronzer. This one is in the shade, I think it's just dropped it. Oh, it's fine. It has a small little gouge in it here. This one is in Forever Sunkissed. This is the lightest shade they have. I'll tell you, the only thing I'm missing is a mirror, but to keep the prices so low, I see why they don't have a mirror in here. And it's not as if I don't have like a hand mirror and a million other compacts with mirrors in them. I had been looking through my brush collection for e.l.f. brushes. I don't have a ton. My favorite blush brush is from e.l.f. I use it every day next to like my Sonia G and my Wayne Goss brushes. Yes, it's really, really good. So we'll pull that out in a minute. I like this color. I think it's nice. I don't see that it's grabbing or skipping anywhere. I feel like it blends nicely. I didn't have to work too hard. And that's always my concern with bronzer, is that I'm gonna have to work a little harder than I want to. So I picked up 3 of these guys. They're bite-sized face duos. Sadly, this one here arrived shattered, so I just repressed it. So the highlight came in a million pieces, and you'll notice that these guys here have the stripes in them, and this one doesn't because I had to repress it. But I thought for $3, is it really worth letting e.l.f. know and having them send me another one when I can easily do this? But it's a really pretty highlight. I feel like it's really nice. We'll swatch them all, but the blush was fine. This one here is Spiced Apple. I feel like we're not getting a good idea of what the highlighter looks like because it still has some alcohol in it. If you ever break a powder product like this, break it up into little chunks, saturate it with rubbing alcohol, and then press it down. I always use a paper towel or a piece of toilet paper, press it down, and then it absorbs a lot of it, but it also allows you to compact it all down together. But since this is still damp and I got a little alcohol over here, I don't know how accurate these swatches are, but I feel like the blush is good, but the highlight might be a little deep for my skin tone. So this duo here is Guava. You see how this is a little bit more reflective than we're getting here, and I think it's just because this one's not fixed. But I do like this kind of more pinky toned blush. This last set here is Lychee, so the highlight and the blush here. Spiced Apple, Guava, and Lychee. I think I'm going to use the Lychee blush, and this is where I pull in my favorite, which is the e.l.f. blush brush. I think this is like $3. It's so good. I have 2 of them, so we'll use one for blush and one for highlight. I'm going to use my other clean e.l.f. brush, and I think I'm going to dip. I might just stick in this same duo here. This is the highlighter from Lychee. Oh, that's pretty. I do have and have used quite a bit their bite-sized eyeshadow in rose water, which is kind of like your more plummy mauve tones, but I wanted to pick up some new stuff. They're $3. So this is Hot Jalapeno, and it's more of your kind of green and mustard tones, and this is Pumpkin Pie. Okay, I've done a lot of warm orangey eye looks, so I think it means that I have to go into this one today. Have to. I love it. That's how I think about it. I'm going to start with this matte green here, and I'm just going to place that in my crease. I have really been loving smaller palettes. I tend to get overwhelmed really easily, so I find that if I keep my eyeshadow singles kind of in groups of like quads or like no more than 8 at a time. If I get them all in a palette and these guys go together and these guys go together, I am more successful in using them regularly. I also find that I reach for just eyeshadow palettes that have fewer options, like those 9-pan palettes from ColourPop. I love those. There are some other ones that I have where, like the quads from Charlotte Tilbury, I tend to reach for those because I know that the look is going to be cohesive and it's all going to go together. Kind of looks a little patchy. We'll keep going. We'll see what the finished eye look looks like. I'm going to run that same matte olive shade right underneath my eye very lightly. So I'm using this darkest shade right here. I'm going to pick that up on a little more targeted brush and just kind of place it right here on the outside edge. I'm going to kind of place and tap this where I want it because I don't want it everywhere. I feel like this eye's a little bit better, and it could be that, is this where I tell you I'm not wearing an eye primer? I just have a little bit of leftover concealer down and then I set it with the loose setting powder. That's usually what I do. Occasionally I'll pull out an actual eye primer, but I thought it was going to be a little easier today. It's not bad. It's not bad. And I'm sure that once we put on these more metallic shades here, like this guy and the other one, it's going to be easier. So let's do that now. I'm just going to pick, oh, that's pretty. And just, oh, I love that. Just tap it on the center of the eye. I'm just using this same brush I was using before in the crease, kind of just to blend this shimmer so that it's not too much of a harsh edge. Oh, I really feel like that pulled it all together. I like this. I really do want to use that bright kind of gold shade, and I'm going to put that in my inner corner. That's very bright. I'm starting to become okay with something more than a champagne or a silvery, almost sheer shimmer in the inner corner, like actual color. And this is very much a bright, bold gold. I'm going to add just a little bit of that darkest green to the lower outside third on my lower lash line for just a little bit more definition. I'm also shoving this just into the base of the lashes as liner today, that dark green shade. And that's because I've tried 3 drugstore liners recently that have not wowed me. And I was like, I'm not going to spend $3 on another one that I am not sure is going to be like the best ever. So we'll use this as liner today. So I'm going to throw on some mascara. I didn't get a mascara from e.l.f. I think about some of what I'm hoping for, and I've tried enough drugstore mascaras that I've kind of gotten to the point where there's very few that I will try. There's a few from L'Oreal that I like, there's a few from CoverGirl, and everything else like Essence and Wet n Wild, those less expensive mascaras just don't work for me because of my excessively leaky left eye. So I am going to throw on today the one thing that is not e.l.f. and it's my Monsieur Big from Lancome. Be right back. One of my longtime loves has been the e.l.f. brow pencil. This is just their traditional $2 brow pencil. This has been really good. Something else that I picked up, and this is brand new to me, this is their Wow Brow. And I have the shade Brunette in both of these. So this is a little bit thicker style pencil. It's not as thin as your like Brow Wiz or your NYX Micro Brow. But what I like about this is I feel like if I brush my brows to where I hope they'll stay, I can quickly draw my brows on. And this is a little bit creamier than I'm normally comfortable with, but it blends beautifully and it goes like super fast. So one brow done. So this is what, oh, it looks really warm, doesn't it? You can see all the little, I can see all the little fibers hanging off, and maybe you can't, but this is a lot of fibers in it, and I have not found, I've not tried this one before, but I'm going to start by kind of backcombing here. I have not found a fiber brow product that I like from the drugstore more than the L'Oreal Boost and Set Instant Sharpie Brows. I needed to wipe this bad boy off. This is leaning a little bit like warm brunette and not so much cool brunette. I don't know if it's because it's brand new. It feels a little wet still. A lot wetter than some of my other favorite brow fiber products. My eyebrows look really red. I don't think it's a good color for me. I just realized I thought I had brunette in the pencil. It's called natural brown. I wonder if this comes in a natural brown. Let's check. So this Brow Wow actually does come in neutral brown, the same shade as the brow pencil, which I feel really suits me. This one is really warm. I'm getting more of like an auburn vibe with this. And I think that because swatch shades are so notoriously different on websites that maybe it looked like it would work for me, and the fact that it was called Brunette, maybe it should have had like in parentheses warm and the neutral brown cool. I feel like the other one would have suited me better. Now, this is not an expensive product, but I feel like the product itself works well. If you have a little bit sparser brows like I do, I'm just going to use just a regular spoolie and see if we can brush some of this out. I felt like I got a lot of color from this product, and it took it a little bit darker than I was hoping my brows to be. But even after putting, you know, pencil and now this in there, I feel like it's not to the point where it's going to be super crunchy. I like that, and I do feel like you can brush it through nicely. I got a lot of lippies. You know I love lippies, so I'm not surprised. One of the things that I was really curious about was this. This is their Ride or Die Lip Balm. This is the shade Tough Cookie. This was the most neutral looking lippy. Very shiny. I did pick up one of their sheer slicks. This is a sheer lipstick. This is in the shade Black Cherry. Ooh, that's pretty. That's calling my name. I also got two of their Seriously Satin lipsticks. This one here is called Pepper. These are $3. I want to know if it's a good lipstick. It's very creamy and very opaque. Hello, e.l.f. This one is Nectar. So this one here is Nectar. I kind of get the feeling that I want to try them all on the lips, even though the colors may not go with what I'm wearing today. This is the sheer lipstick. It feels really comfortable on the lips. It feels nourishing. My lips are a little dry. What I'd been wearing earlier in the day as I'd been running errands in the morning had kind of dried down, and I hadn't applied any balm on, but this isn't sticking to any of my dry flaky spots. I also feel like it's really creamy. Let's put on some of this Ride or Die Balm. It's really thick and very pigmented, so you probably don't need a lot. I really love the GlossierBalm.com, and I was curious because it was in similar type, you know, tube packaging, if it would have a similar feel to it. They have some tinted balms. I feel like this is more tinted than the majority of their balms, but I really love this. And this Tough Cookie shade, this is nice. This is something that's really easy, but if you don't like having to apply with your fingers, because there's really no applicator that comes with this, it's just like a little, you squeeze it out, you rub it on, but then, you know, where do you wipe what's on your finger? This is stupid. I've been doing it since I was a kid. I usually just stick my finger inside my pocket and wipe it on the inside of my pocket, because if it stains, nobody sees the inside of my pocket, not even me. But maybe that was too much information. These really caught my eye. These $3 lipsticks. Ooh, they feel good. Oh my goodness. Wow. It feels like a luxury lipstick, a luxury cream lipstick. It all comes down to how does this wear. This is a lot of look for this eye look, but I love this shade Pepper. Ooh, spicy. This is Nectar. This definitely leans a little bit more peach. It feels just slightly stiffer in application from the previous one. It feels really good on the lips. It feels like this one is just a hair more emollient. It could all be in my head, but this feels just slightly drier, the shade Nectar, even though they're both the exact same formula. I know sometimes lipsticks formulation is slightly different depending on the shade, and I feel like this one, although it still feels hydrating, it feels like it might stay in place just a hair better than the brighter, more orangey red Pepper. I ended up combining both of these. I put this down first and then a layer of this over the top. They both feel so luxurious, not sticky, but very hydrating. And after having kind of super chapped lips and not doing anything about it for a couple of hours, this is feeling very healing and hydrating on my lips. I'm actually quite impressed with today's look. The only thing that didn't work for me, I really love the base products, really love those products. Loved all the lip products I tried. I'm really in love with this kind of green mossy eye I've got going on. The only thing that was kind of was this Brow Wow, and that's because I picked the wrong shade. I would love to see if I can find this in the neutral brown shade and try it again, because I know I'm not going to use this color I feel like I've got the wrong color brows on today. I feel like I should be doing this. But I love the pencil, and I want to try this, but in the correct shade so I can really give you an honest opinion about it. But a lot of the other stuff, kind of, I was expecting to like solidly half of it would be really good and half of it would be like sad trombone. Excuse my phone. But it's not. Like, I haven't really been let down by anything other than my own choice of shade. Wow, e.l.f. Wow. And if this is kind of what you can expect in general, I will do a review in a handful of weeks, get back to you and tell you what's really good and what's going great. But then also, I really feel like if this is the quality I can expect, I could definitely see myself continuing to buy more e.l.f. products. If you have any favorites, let me know in the comments down below. If you have any fails, let me know in the comments down below. Thank you for watching today. And I'm really trying to delve into more affordable makeup, so it's not always like $50 for this and $70 for that. So thanks for watching. Have an amazing day, and I will see you again soon. Bye.